Okay, sir. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you to another session of our industry-oriented training on Python programming for AI and data analytics. As we continue our journey into Python programming, today's session focuses on an essential skill for every programmer, exception handling. Writing code, just a minute. Writing code is only one part of programming. Ensuring that it can handle unexpected situations and errors gracefully is equally important. Today's lecture will cover error detection, try except blocks, and debugging techniques. You will learn how to identify common programming errors, prevent programs from crashing unexpectedly, and write code that is more reliable, robust, and user-friendly. These techniques are invaluable in real-world software development, where handling exceptions effectively is a key part of building professional applications. Beyond fixing errors, debugging also helps us understand how our programs behave, making us better problem solvers and more confident programmers. Mastering these concepts will prepare you to develop applications that are not only functional but also resilient and maintainable. I encourage everyone to code along with the demonstrations, experiment with different error scenarios, and actively participate by asking questions. Learning from mistakes is an important part of programming, and today's session will help you turn those mistakes into valuable learning opportunities. It is now my pleasure to welcome our esteemed mentor and speaker, Dr. Meher Chand, Associate Professor at Bab Farid College of Engineering and Technology, Bathinda. With his expertise in artificial intelligence, machine learning, computational sciences, and Python programming, he continues to provide learners with practical insights that bridge academia and industry practices. With great pleasure, I invite Dr. Meherchand to kindly lead us into today's session. Over to you, sir.
Okay, dear Face, thank you for nice introduction. And dear participant, welcome back in our ongoing sessions of the industrial training program on Python for data science and machine learning. Some of the participants were asking about the recordings. The list of the recordings has been shared in the WhatsApp group, and you can easily access. Okay, and you can use for your use purpose. And all the content also presented. Sorry. All the content which we present during the sessions are available in the WhatsApp group. Still, to make some more easy to access, I will create Google Drive folder, and I will share shortly after the meeting so that you can access all the content day-wise. And yesterday, due to some technical issues, we have to postpone the session. So today, during in this session, we will cover the content related to the previous session also, and today's content. Okay, so let's start the meeting or today's session. What we are going to discuss today. So we will explore one of the most important concept in the Python programming, exceptional handling. Imagine you are using an ATM and making an online payment or working with an AI application. What happens if something goes wrong, such as entering invalid data, dividing by zeros, or trying to open a file that does not exist? A well-designed program should not crash unexpectedly. Instead, it should detect the problem, inform the user, and continue running safely whenever possible. So this is exactly where exceptional handling comes into play. In this lecture, we will learn how to Python detect errors, how to handle exceptional using the try, accept, else, or finally blocks, and how to treat meaningfully error messages. We will also discuss debugging technique that help developers identify and fix programming mistake efficiently. By the end of this session, you will be able to write more reliable, professional, and user-friendly Python programs that can gracefully handle unexpected situation. Okay, so what we are going to today, understanding the different types of the error, what type of the error we can do while writing the code, and sometimes we are not able to detect. So with the help of these examples which we are going to cover today's session, you will be able to find out to detect the error. Okay, runtime exceptions and their causes using try, accept, else, and finally raising built-in and custom exceptions, debugging technique that best practice, and practical programming examples, real-world application in AI, data analytics, banking, healthcare, and software development. So this is all about the today's session, which we are going to cover. So now I am going to share my screen first, and then let's discuss all these applications, how we can use them. Okay, so I will, yes, you can see this is my desktop. I have shared the screen. Okay, and here some of the files I have created for you, but I'm starting with the new file. Okay, so this is a new file which I'm taking from this place. Okay, and yes, just 1 minute, please. Yes, so from this place you can rename the file. Okay, some of the participants are new one. So you can see when you will open this Jupyter notebook and yeah, 4 participants recently joined this program. Okay, so I recommend to those participants just you are required to install this Anaconda Navigator. And when you will open this Anaconda Navigator, this is the interface. Okay, so you can easily access from this place. This is the icon. You can download the Anaconda Navigator in your system, install. This is user process to install any software. Okay, so when you will search from this, you can write here Anaconda Navigator. This icon will appear, and when you will click on it, this interface will open. Several files are there, and we are using in this training program Jupyter Notebook. So from this place, you can easily launch the Jupyter Notebook. Just you are required to click on it. So as soon as you will click on it, you can the Jupyter notebook will open, and you can see this will appear like in this way in the very beginning. Okay, this is the interface when you will open the Jupyter notebook, and all the directories which you can see here are in my system, and similarly these will be available in your system. Okay, so from this place you can uh, create new folder, new directory, and then after you can create the files, and if you want to create new file you can use this one. And if you want to upload any file in your directory, this is the option. So in the download, you can see these are the files which we can use, we can upload in the directory. And simply if you want to open these files directly, so you can see all these are in my download directory. You can see this is the my download. Okay, I will select it, and then yes, scroll down. So if the files are available in your download directory, so these are the files. You can see the extension .ipynb. This is the extension of Jupyter Notebook. Okay.
Screen
Yes.
is not visible, sir.
Screen not visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have shared the screen. Okay. Thank you. Now it's okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so briefly for 1 minute, I repeat the same. For the new participant, there are 4 participants recently joined this program. So, dear participant, once again, I am repeating. Sorry for the screen was not shareable. When you will download this Anaconda Navigator in your system, and you can from this place when you will click and you can write here Anaconda. So this is the Anaconda Navigator. Just you are required to click on it. So as you will click on it, this interface will open. Okay. There are so many applications. I am not talking about all the applications, but we are using here Jupyter Notebook. You can see this is the Jupyter Notebook icon 7.4.5. This is the version. Okay. There is one Jupyter Lab. Okay. We are not using Jupyter Lab. That is a different application, but we are using only Jupyter Notebook. So all the files which we are created and which we are sharing, you can easily use them. Just you are required to launch from this place. So when you will launch this Jupyter Notebook, this will appear like in this way. As you can see, when you will open the Jupyter Notebook, this interface will open. There are so many directories. And if you want to create a new folder, you can click from this place. Okay, so all the folders which you have created, whether these are on the download, whether these are on your desktop or in document, so all these will appear at this place. Okay, along with the other, you can say the directories just like C or D, all these will be available at this place. Okay, so if you want to create a new folder, you can do from this place. And if you want to open new Jupyter file, just you are required to click on it. And as soon as I will click on it, so this file was open. So this is the interface of the Jupyter notebook, which we are required to use here. Okay. So here we are going to discuss exceptional handling in the Python and how we can use them. Sometimes when we are writing the program, there may be some type of the errors. So during writing the code, and if sometimes we are not able to detect the error which we have made, so there are some uh, exception handling which we can use, and by using these, we can assess the error, we can find the error. Okay, and sometimes we can use this for the user purpose, so that whenever any user is using or entering the values, so if there is any error while entering the value, so the error message will let the user the value which has been entered by the user is not correct. Okay, so all these will help us as a developer as well as for the user purpose. Okay, so for both these will help to identify. Okay, so here which type of the error can be done. So this can be syntax error, incorrect Python syntax. Sometimes runtime error can be occurs during the execution, and sometimes we have the logical error. Okay, so program runs but give incorrect result. So there are some common exceptions just like zero divisor, value error, type error, index error, key errors, name error, file not found error, import error, and attribute error. So let's discuss all these one by one. Okay. So here is the example one. Okay. Here is the example one. Yes, this is the example one. Okay. Just like this example we have present in the very beginning. Okay. But here we have several problems which we are going to cover, just like division by zero. I think the participant who attended the session in the very beginning, it was second or third session. So this is the zero division by zero. This type of the error. We know any number we are not able to divide by zero. Okay. So this type of the error can be also there. Just like what we do, we will use the try function. We will use try function. And here print 10 by 0. Okay. So what we do, so this is the accepted function we have to use that will detect the zero division error. Okay. How will you will use? This is the 0. Then we have division error. Okay, if you want to use 0, sometimes we are entering some wrong value and we have this type of the error. So here accept. Okay. Then you will use print cannot divide by 0. Okay. So let's try control and enter. Saying accepted error. So here the code sign print 10 by 0. Okay. And if I give the yes, control and enter, still there is error. Yes, here is colon, because here is also, well, each condition or function which we are using, we have to close with colon, control and you can see accepted, and this is the error. Okay, control and enter. Yes, so here we can see now the program run properly, and we have to keep in mind when you are using any type of the function. Okay, and that will be always closed by we have to use colon sign. If you are not using the colon sign, then also this is the one type of the error. And we know we cannot divide the 10 by 0. So this is one of the error, division by 0. Okay, so you can have any value. So when this type of the error will occur, so we can write if someone is some user is trying to divide by 0 any number. Okay, so we can write, we can give the instruction of which type of the error is there. Okay, and then print cannot divide by 0. So by using in this way, and if you are using here 1, control and enter, there is no error. Okay, if you are using 12, control enter. So there is no error. If there is 0 at space, only then we have the error message. Otherwise, you can use any value. Or if you are, we always divide any number by any divide by number. Okay, so we have to put at space any value. But with 0, this is not possible. If you are using here some negative value, you can try control and enter. Okay, so only except 0, this number is not divisible. So now you can see this will return the value according to our input, whether our code is correct or not. The values which we are entering are correct or not. Okay, so in this way we can use 0 divisor error. Similarly, sometimes we have the invalid input integer. That also we can manipulate here, just like with the example shift and enter. This is the second example we are using here. Okay, so this is the example number 2, invalid integer input. Integer input. This is the second example. So we will start from try. Okay, then we are using here, suppose that n is equal to, we are using integer, then input function, use the input function to enter the value. Okay, so for that now you are familiar how we can use input function and enter the number. Okay, colon and space. Then what you will do, print n. Okay, this n will print correctly if we are entering the correct value. If we are entering only the integer, otherwise this will not print. So if except integer we are entering the other values, then this is the value error. Okay, because here we are entering the value and value is integer. If accept the integer, we are entering the other values. This is the value error. Okay, so here we are using the accept zero division error, but now we have the value error. Okay, so accept, we have the value error. Okay, we have value error and use here colon sign. Got it? So this is the message, and we print. What should we print? Enter the you can say invalid integer, because this is not the integer. Okay, so or you can say the invalid value, invalid input. So I am writing here invalid integer. This is the message when I will enter incorrect value. Got it? And if I will run the code, control and enter, suppose that I am entering here 5. So 5 is integer, the program which I write here run properly. Okay. And if I am entering here control and enter, suppose that I am using here 2.5, control and enter. 2.5 is not an integer. 2.5 not an integer. And that's why this is the value error and it is detecting. Okay, if sometimes this type of the example we can use for just like password detection, or sometimes we have to fix the password. Okay, whether the password we are entering are correct or not. Sometimes for more security, so the other symbols also we are required to use, and the length of the password also, just for email or the other account. Okay, we are required to update. Just like if you are getting some login account on professional website, so their alphabets, numbers, or the other symbols are required to use, and the minimum digit or the characters should be 8 or 10. Range is fixed there. So uppercase, lowercase, all type of these syntax are required. So if all the conditions are not fulfilled, so this type of the program are built up so that user can easily understand. Okay, so here this is a very simple example. You can see the value error. Okay, we are using here, and sometimes control and enter. If you are entering here, by default you enter here any alphabet. So this is suppose I am entering here H. This also you can see the value we have entered at space, but not the integer, not the valid integer. Sometimes if you are entering the integer just like 2, 2 is integer. This is also the invalid value. Okay, so many things how you want to write the code, okay, and how you want to manipulate, which type of the entering are required. So many things you can manage by using this type of the uh, exceptions. Okay, so there is one more interesting example, just like list index. Control and enter. Sorry, this will ask about the integer. Yes, this is the third example. See, very interesting example is there. Uh, Example I am taking here. This is the third example. Uh, List index. Okay, list index. So can you please let me know what do you mean by the list and then list index? Anyone please? Can you please explain what is list? Anyone?
Counting of numbers.
हाँ जी. Okay. So a list can connect the different objects, and we store by using this square bracket, and all the values you will enter at a space will be separated by comma. But here we have the list of the numbers 10, 20, 30. Okay. Then we are using here try function, print. Then here you will use numbers. Numbers is the variable where we have stored the value. Okay. And then we have the accept index error. We are using for index error. So is it correct which I have write in the above statement, print number 10? Is it correct or not? Anyone please? Is it correct or not? Please check it carefully. Print. Yes. Is it correct or not? Index out of range. Yes, please. Is it correct or not?
नो सर बिकॉज इंडेक्स वैल्यू है ਜਿਹੜੀ वो 0 ਤੋਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਹੋਗੀ 0
Yes.
1
Yes. So here we have three values are there. So the index for 10 we have is 0. That of 20 we have is 1. And for 30 we have 2 index. Okay. So index in Python starting from 0. So the index for the last value we have is 2. Okay. Here I use numbers. Okay. And the value which I enter at this place is 10. Okay. So this is the index or something. The value which I enter at this place is correct or not? Okay. So this function which we write at this place will let us know. Control and enter. Okay. So here you can see the name numbers is not defined. Okay. So first error is here is numbers. Here we are using numbers. Okay. Control and enter. See, index out of range. Index is out of range. It means this is incorrect value. If you are using here 0, control and enter. Okay. So the number whose index is 0 is 10. Okay. We want to assess this number whose index is 0, that is 10. If you are using here 1, the values which we are entering at the place are index of the numbers which are in the list. Okay, which is the index of these numbers. If I am entering here 1, then this will return 20. If I am entering here 2, this is returning 30. If I am entering here 3, okay, and we have index out of range because there is no index with respect to these values which we have. Okay, and if I am using here apple, okay, control and enter. This is apple. Okay, in the list we can store any value, whether it is an integer, float value, string. Okay, and you can see the index 3 numbers in the numbers, the index 3 value is apple. Okay, and you can see Got it? So if again you will use here 4. So in this way, these exceptions are very helping when you are writing, and sometimes you want to check whether the program is correct or not. So if you have the understanding about all these functions, which are very helping to find out the errors. Okay, so you can easily understand everything. But in the beginning, sometimes uh, for specifically, we are working for data science. Okay, so these are type of the operations sometimes can help, but not necessarily that we have to cram everything. But if you have the understanding about all these, and you have some type of the errors, and sometimes you are writing the long program, and you want to check for the error, or which type of the error can be done. So you can integrate all these for data analytic whenever you are required to write the long programming for that purpose. Otherwise, in the data science or data analytic, we have all the inbuilt functions, and very small statements are required. Okay, and most of their very less part of the programming. Okay, here we are discussing the core part of the Python. Okay, but when you will do some scientific computing, only the functions, mathematical or statistical method, or the modules which we are required to import directly, and the very less part we have to write the programming part. Okay, just we will import the function and we will implement. Okay, all the algorithms which we have are we are using directly, just import and use them. Okay, so sometimes if you have to use just like a loop or while loop, or sometimes you are required to apply the filter. Okay, or you want to give the instruction for the user side, whether the values they are entering are correct or not. So that purpose we can use all these. Okay, otherwise when you will do all type of the statistical or data analytic part, in that case very less use of this type of the functions, but we must be familiar. Okay, so now we have the uh, next example, very interesting, dictionary. Okay, so dictionary part we cover during the data type. Okay, which type of the data we can have, and also in the coming sessions when we will talk about the data frame. So by using the dictionary, we can create the data frame. And here is very simple example uh, for the dictionary key values. Okay, sometimes when we are creating we have created the data frame, but while as a user, we are using uh, key values. Okay, so the values which we are entering are not matching with the dictionary keys which we have defined. So in that case, this will help. Just like see the example, dictionary key. Here, student, we are using the student. Okay, name, and here how we can use dictionary. How we can use dictionary. So first we have is the key. We can use single quote. This is the name. So name is the one key. Then you can store value. Okay, value here is the name. Suppose it is Aman. Okay, so the first you can see this is the key and this is the value. Okay, so very simple example, one variable by taking one key we are using here. We can have the multiple keys in this way: name, age, class, height, weight, many things we can use here. Okay, but we take here one example so that simply we can easily understand. Okay, so see here, I'm taking here try. And how we can check it? Print. Here I will use the student. Okay, so the information I have stored is inside student variable. Okay, and here we know in this student variable we have is name. Okay, then we are using here except and key error. Name is here key. Okay, and then error. Use here this sign also, then print. What you want to print? Key is not defined. Key is not defined. Okay. Key is not defined. Control and enter. So here you can see this is the name. Name is the key and this is the value. So by using only key, we can find out its value. In the dictionary, we are required to use only the key. Okay, value automatically will return when we will use, as you can see here. Okay, so here we use only the key and its value is aman print here. If we are using here key, just like age, which is not exist. Okay, so in dictionary you have defined some keys, but while using we make some error. Okay, so you can see here age is not defined in the dictionary. Control and enter. So key is not defined. Okay, so here we have only one. And sometimes if you are using name, N is in the uppercase, and you write here name, that is also incorrect because Python is very sensitive. Here you are using N in the uppercase, but here you are using N in lowercase. So the as Python is sensitive, so this this letter and this key and this key both are different, not same. But if you are using N at the base, we have in the uppercase, okay, and yes, control and enter. Now it is correct. Okay, so this is the example to detect the key error while you are using any dictionary. Okay, so sometimes this is a very simple example. I think there is no such a problem to understand, and I am putting very simple examples in the simple way so that whether you are beginners, you can easily understand the examples and the concept which I want to impart for you. Okay. Then I can have one new more example. This is the example 5. Okay, here we have is the file handling. File handling. Okay. So how you can use this one? We are using a try, then colon, enter, open. Okay, you have some file, but you want to open uh, here. Okay, suppose that for example, I can have any file, just like example .csv. Suppose that I want to open this file, okay, but this file is not in my directory, and this is the error. This is the error. Okay, so accept file not found. This is the file not found. Okay, error. Okay, sometimes file which we want to open not found in our directory, then you can use this function file not found error. Okay, so then you can use here print. what you want to print? File not exist. File not exist. Or you can use found. Okay. See here, control and enter. So actually this file which we want to open not exist in our directory anywhere. Okay, there is no such file. That's why we have the message. If this file with this name or CSV file exists in our file, then this will open. This will open the file. Okay, and there is no error. But right now, for this example which I am using here, there is no such file in my current directory. That's why we have this file not exist found error message. Okay, so when you will use all this will help you. Okay, to open the file, you can use this example also for your purpose. And then we have is the type error. Sometimes when we are typing, we can have the error. As you know, we are not able to add number plus string. Okay, so this is the error. So this we can say the type error. By default, we make this type of the error. So our program, when you write very smartly, this will help you to find out the error. We can say type error. Okay, so here we can have the try, then print. Suppose that I want to add 5 plus 10. Okay, 5 plus 10. Suppose I have entered this value. Okay, so accept. This is the type error. This is the type error. Okay. And print. We can type here cannot add the integer and string. Cannot add integer. Okay. Integer and string str. Okay, so here we know any digit, any value which will be inside the quote sign. This will be string. Oh, sorry. Okay. And we are not able to add the number plus string. So this is one type of the error. So sometimes when you collect the data set and sometimes we have the values, numerical values, and in the other column we have some type of strings are there. Or by default, quote sign is appeared there, and sometimes we are using the value just like 10, TEN. Okay, TEN, not not a number. This is again string. So this type of the error we can have in the data set, or while sometimes user can make this type of the error. But if we have we have developed a program properly, okay, and in the software we gave all type of this type of the error detection exceptions. Okay, so we can add if these are added in the software, so this will help to the user to develop the software. Okay, so you can see this type of the error also, and control and enter. Okay, so these are we are not able to add, but if you are entering, you can make this value correct. Okay, now this will print the value. Okay, now it is correct. But if you are using any string, or just like you are using here 10, so how this can be added with 5? Okay, this is cannot add int and string because the other value we have is the string. Okay, so this is 10 and this is 5. 5 plus 10 we have 15, but we are using here a string and numerical value. So this is the problem. Okay, so in this way we can use it for the typing error. And sometimes we are using the name error. Okay, this also we can correct. We can use control and enter. Okay, so here is the next example. Do you have any question, please? Any question, please? You can write in the text box or either you can unmute your mic. Okay, this is the name error. Okay, how we can do it? Just like we are using here, try. Okay, and we have a print value. We are using print, and here is value. Here is value. Okay, so this type of can be we have except name error. Name error. Okay. Then print variable not defined. Okay, you can check it, control and enter. The value which we are using here, but this value, this variable which we are using is not defined. Okay, so what we can do, value. You can assign the value, any value. And if you are using now, control and enter. Okay, you can see here V is in the lowercase. Here I am using in the uppercase. Okay, so this can be corrected. Control and enter. Now it is fine. Okay, now if you are using any value, okay, if you are entering directly, then we have the message. Okay, if you are using here just like this one, then also we can have the error, name error. Bn is not defined. Okay, this is the value. Value means we have to assign here some numerical value. Okay, write properly. Or otherwise, if you are entering some character, so this is not the value. This is not the value. So what we can do here, you can see the error message, name enemy is not defined. So what we have to do, we can correct it. Meher, control and enter. Now you can see. Okay, so these are examples which I put here will help you how you can use to avoid the error, the use of exceptional cases, and all these will help you to write smooth programming. Okay, some of the example we can have for the square root. Okay, control and shift and enter. We have the example of to find out the square root. If you are writing the program, but you made some mistake, you are entering some incorrect value. So how the user will understand the values which he is entering, whether it is these are correct or not. So we can use exceptional case, and this will help the user to use the correct value. See, we are using a try function. So we can use here, we are importing, but the square root, we are using the math. Okay, import math. Then try, okay. N is equal to, we can have float. we can use a float. Okay, and we are using input function. Here we are required to enter the value or enter the number. Okay, colon space. Then what you will do, if this is the condition which we apply at a place for user, n is less than 0. Okay, raise value error. Raise value error. This is the value error. Okay, so what you want to say to the user, negative number, or you can say enter the positive number or positive value. Then print. Then print. What do you want to print? Math dot sqrt is a square. Sqrt. Okay. Square root of n. Square root of n. Okay. So then after math dot sqrt. Okay. Then exception. Use of except. Value error. Value error. As we use this example previously. Okay. And print e. Control and enter. So if I am entering here 49, this is 7. Okay, so the program which we have write is correct, but by default, you are entering here control and enter. You are entering here negative value. You enter here negative value. Okay, so for the negative value, we are not able to find out the square root. Okay, this will be in the complex. Okay, -1 means iota. So here, the value which we enter here is negative. That's why negative number. So that we can, while developing the program or the software, we can give the instruction for the user enter the positive value only. Okay, whether it is a float value, this will work for the float value. Just like I'm using here 23.45. Control and enter. This is the square root. Okay, so the square root will be for only all the values which are greater than or equal to 0. If the value is less than 0, then we raise the error. Okay, and the error is value error. And see how we are using. So this statement will only if this is true. If this is false, then this statement will not execute. We have this will print the value. Okay, we have discussed about all type of the if conditions. Okay, condition statement we have already discussed. So here we are using only the if the on n is less than 0, only then this will execute. Okay, if this is false, then this will print the value. And see and understand the syntax, the programming, and how we are writing all the syntax. Okay, so this will help you to understand. Similarly, you can write for the factorial. Okay, and we know factorial we can find out for n is greater than or equal to 0. So the same thing will be there. So this is the example for you. You write the code yourself. Yes, you will write the code yourself. Just I give the example here. Hash. This is the example for you. Factorial validation. Okay. Factorial validation. You will do yourself this example. I'm not doing. We have one more interesting example. Just one time checking if there is any question. Okay, there is no question. Thank you. Okay. I think all things are going well. So yes. So here we can use the example. This is the example number 10, right? Safe division. Okay. So here is command hash. We can use the example for safe division. Okay. We will start from try. Then we are required to two values. Okay. A is equal to, I have the integer. Okay. Or you can use float value also. But here we are using only for integer input. This is the numerator. Enter numerator. Okay. Enter numerator. This is the value of A. Then we have B is equal to int input, and here, sorry, here enter denominator. Okay. Yes. You can do n in the uppercase. These are the input functions. Then we can use here print a by b, divide a by b. Okay. So if there is any error, so we can use here except zero division error. Zero division error. We use this function previously. Zero division error. Okay. Then we have the print function. So here you can write denominator cannot be zero. Okay, cannot be zero. Then control and enter. So it's talking about the value of A. Suppose that it is 12 and that of B is 4. We have correct division. If by default any new user by default entered 0 here, so we have the message denominator cannot be 0. Okay, so this will help the user when he is entering the values, whether the values entering are correct or not. Okay. So here is one more example I'm giving you. Okay. See, very interesting example is here. Yes. This is the example number 10, right? Hash. Sorry, example 11. Example 11, and is based on login validation. Login validation. This is the last example from my side on this topic. Okay, there are many examples I have taken in this file, which I will share with you. Okay, I will share two files with you related to these exceptional cases, and you must try with all these examples. Okay, this is the we can use here. We can start from by using try. Then u is equal to, we have input, and inside input we have is the username. This is the user name. Okay, and then enter. If u is equal to, what is the meaning of this one? Okay, raise exception, username. Sorry, here is the string. Username cannot be empty. Okay, this is the message. Then print login successfully. Or successful. Okay, then after accept exception. Okay, ASE and print E. Okay, so let's check it. Control and enter. So here asking username. Suppose I am using here MTTF 2020. Okay, enter. So this is the username. Okay, username we have enter, but message must be control enter 1 2 3. Yeah, so you can see now, if you will enter the value, the name of user, whatever you have used. Okay, so only then this will be login. Otherwise, if you are not entering any value, okay, the value was empty, so username cannot be empty. You can see here. So we have to enter the value, only then the login will be possible. Okay, so these are the few examples, and I hope that the example which I try to present here will help you to understand how you can avoid the error. Okay, so as soon as you will integrate all these examples while writing the code, and you do some experiment, okay, some more examples are there, about 25 examples I insert here. Okay, and some of them I have present here. So two files are there. Okay, so one file, some of the example from one file I have covered here, and in the other file you can have some more examples. So you can go through maybe some similar example. Okay, so if you have any question, please let me know. And also yesterday I was not able to present the file, but not taken the session, but I shared the file of the 10th session. Okay, so if you have tried and you covered all the examples, and if there is any question, you can ask from me. So now the session is open for that discussion. Yes, please. Any question? No question. Okay. Let me know, did you cover the lecture number 10? Because I was not able to present. But if you have covered yourself, it's great. Because the examples I think I put here are simple to understand. Yes, please. No question? Okay, so how do we know? Okay. Actually, the thing is when you are writing the code, okay, and sometimes we have this type of the error. Sometimes we have the value error, sometimes we have the string error, some we have the type error. Okay, but if you will be familiar about all this type of the errors, then you can use. So the thing is to use them, integrate, and sometimes we have to use when we are developing the software. Okay, so that the user can understand the values or the statement, just like detect the integer or whether the addition is possible or not, because we know the numbers just like 5 plus 10. If 10 is the string, not possible. Okay, so also you can see sometimes when you are uh, creating the account and you have to put there some username and password we have to create. Okay, but in the today's to make more secure login, there are some instructions use uppercase, lowercase characters, some symbols and numbers. Okay, and the digit, the characters which you are using are less, minimum must be 8 and maximum length it can be 15. So the range is given. So if you are fulfilling this type of the condition, only then you can create your account. Okay, and similarly in the username also we can give the instruction. Uh, just like many accounts, just like we can see if in the username some of the characters which you have used in the user name, just like I am starting my username for my account MTTF 2020, and now I am creating the password. Okay, if I start from MTTF, then this is also the error. Okay, so we can make a score with the characters which we have used in the user, not not be in password. Okay, so many things are there for the security purpose or the other purpose, mainly when we are developing the software. Okay, in that case, these are very helping. But when you are writing the programming, in that case also, this can help us to detect, to find out the debugging error. Okay, debugging means when you are executing the code, but there is some error. So if you will use all this, and I will demonstrate in the coming sessions when we will write the code and how we can integrate all these functions to find out the error while writing the code. Okay, so these are the examples. You should do some practice on it so that you can be familiar about all these operations and the examples to find out the errors and which type of the errors we can do. So the examples which we put here, the simple errors which we can do, but there are some more functions which also can be used. But at least this error finding must be there because we are going to start to work on data science. So in the data science, we can have the value error or the string error, addition error. Okay, the function error can be there. So these basic functions which we use here to find out the errors will help you to write in the code and to extract the values. Okay, so various examples are there. which I put here, and about 12 examples we have discussed. And I'm sure this will help you in the coming sessions when we will deal some programming in Python by using several libraries also. Any more question, please, if you have? Okay, I think all the questions are now clear. So I request, dear face, we can now close the session. Yeah, tomorrow is the quiz. I will share tomorrow morning according to Indian Standard Time at 10 a.m. in the morning. Okay, so you are required to complete within 1 hour. There will be 100 questions based on the content which we have delivered till date. Okay, so only sharply this will start at 10 a.m. and up to 11 a.m. Okay, so 1 hour is enough for 100 questions. All type of the questions will be the objective. Okay, so within this 1 hour you can complete all these questions. So I will intimate you at least 30 minutes before starting this test. Okay, so the time duration will be 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. only, and in the evening we will have the we have the session. Will start at the same time 7:30 p.m. Okay, but the quiz will be at morning 10 a.m. Remember. Okay, so all the content which we present and discuss today will be uploaded. You can find in the WhatsApp group. I am uploading there. And now we can, dear face, conclude the session today.
Yes, sir. As we conclude today's session, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Meher Chand for today's informative and engaging lecture on exception handling in Python. Today's session emphasized that writing good programs is not just about producing the correct output, it is also about handling unexpected situations effectively. By exploring error detection, try except blocks, and debugging techniques, we learned how to make our programs more reliable, user-friendly, and resilient. One of the key takeaways from today's discussion is that errors are a natural part of programming. Rather than avoiding them, a skilled programmer learns how to identify, understand, and resolve them efficiently. Developing strong debugging and exception handling skills will not only improve the quality of your code, but also make you a more confident problem solver. I would also like to thank all participants for your active participation, insightful questions, and continued enthusiasm throughout today's session. Your engagement and commitment to learning continue to make this training program both interactive and rewarding. I encourage everyone to revisit today's examples, intentionally test different error scenarios, and practice writing exception handling code. The more you experiment, the more confident you will become in building robust Python applications. Thank you all for your participation. Have a wonderful night, and we look forward to seeing you in the next session.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, dear participant, and good night. Tomorrow we will resume the session.